I had a story request on my TikTok about facing my worst childhood fear of getting bacterial meningitis and also a spinal cord injury. Thank you to this person, especially for wanting to hear my story. It's kind of a wild ride, so buckle in. I've always dealt with anxiety and depression. In middle school, it got pretty bad and I developed some compulsive behaviors to try to cope. A lot of those behaviors centered around germophobia and cleanliness. Eventually, I got out of that episode and kind of let go of some of these behaviors. The worst didn't happen, right? I was a freshman in college. I've been a big athlete my entire life. So I'd gone to the campus gym, done a light workout, came back, sat down at my desk to study. And when I got up, I had incredible pain in my back. My legs felt weird. Went to the hospital, got an MRI. I had herniated the disc between my T12 and L1, and it was compressing 60% of my spinal cord. We tried everything we could to avoid surgery, but eventually I had to have it. And I remember, being told, I was expected to fully recover. There was a small chance of complications. Only 1% of surgeries ended in, spinal infections. So very rare, not much to worry about. So I have the surgery, everything goes well. 2 weeks later, I start not leaking, but gushing spinal fluid out of my surgical site. Within 12 hours, I contracted bacterial meningitis. The next 6 weeks were hell. Was completely bound to the bed, couldn't lift my head above 10 degrees, for tubes coming out of everywhere. It got really bad. My daughter told my parents to prepare themselves because it wasn't likely that I was going to make it. One night, my breathing had slowed down. They wanted to move me to the ICU and put me on a vent. I don't remember a lot of meningitis. I remember bits and pieces. And I remember coming to and hearing the gravity of the situation. I asked if I could just stay in my room because I was pretty concerned I was going to die and didn't want to die alone that night. I wanted my family with me, and somehow made it through the night. I am an ambulatory wheelchair user. I also use a cane. Here's one I've bedazzled. I've still graduated college, got married, have a wonderful husband, 2 beautiful children. I'm an artist, a writer. I'm also an advocate. And now I get to speak, write, travel, and share my story. This is why I have a sense of humor about things. When you have 2 freak things happen to you like that, what are you gonna do? I've dealt with it through laughing and through helping others, through being of service. And I believe that the impossible can be done because I've done it myself. It's taught me that everyone is deserving of love and compassion.